Hi guys, today is day 4 and we are going to be working on subtracting fractions. Let's take a look at our daily goals and objectives. I can subtract fractions with like denominators. And number 2, explain what a fraction is and what each number represents. Our essential question today is, how do I find the difference between two fractions? Remember, a difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. All right, let's take a look at our morning warm-ups. In 3/4, what number is the numerator? Take a minute, pause this video, and solve number 1. Now that you've solved it, do you remember which number is the numerator? The numerator is the top part of the fraction. So if you said the number 3, you are correct. Number 2, add 4/7 plus 2/7. Please pause this video, take a minute, and solve that problem. Remember when we did this yesterday, we started by adding the top numbers or the numerators together. And in this case, the numerators are the 4 and the 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. And our denominator, which is the 7, is going to stay the same. 6/7 is our answer. Now, please pause this video, take a moment, and solve these multiplication problems. All right, let's move on to our 10 days to fact mastery. We have 8 times 3, which is 24. Remember, 3 times 8 is also equal to 24. They are part of the fact family, so they work together. 9 times 4 is 36, and 4 times 9 is also 36. They are also members of a fact family. 8 times 8 is 64. Let's take a moment to review what the parts of a fraction are. The top part of a fraction is a numerator. It tells how many fraction pieces that you have. The bottom part of a fraction is called a denominator. It tells you how many fraction pieces your whole is broken into. For example, in this picture, there are 4 pieces inside of this whole pizza, but we only have 1 slice of pizza left. So we have 1 slice, but there were 4 slices when we first started. Let's take a moment to review adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators. Step 1, you're going to set up the problem. The easiest way to do fractions is to set them up like this. Step 2, you're going to add the numerators. 6 plus 3 equals 9. Since the denominators are the same, all you have to do is drag the denominator over. We are not worrying about simplifying right now. On subtraction, same exact setup. You're going to start by setting up the problem, and then you're going to subtract the numerators. 8 minus 3 equals 5. And then I'm going to continue by dragging that denominator over, and that is 10. Now, let's take a moment and watch a video about subtracting fractions with common denominators.
matches our answer here that we got when we went through our steps. So our model showed us what it looks like when we start with 3/4 and take 2/4 away, and we end up with a difference or answer of 1/4. So let's go to number 2. So check the denominators first. Do we have a common or like denominator? Yes, we have 2 8s there. So now we can subtract the numerators. So 6 minus 1 is 5. We keep our denominator of 8 the same, and then we simplify if needed. So 5/8 is in simplest form. The only common factor between 5 and 8 is 1. So we are done. Now if you need help with simplifying, I will drop a link to my simplifying fractions video down in the description so I can teach you through that process if you do need help with that. Now number 3, we have 7/10 minus 3/10. So check our denominators. We have 2/10 there, so we're good to go. Subtract our numerators. 7 minus 3 is 4. Keep our denominator of 10 the same, and simplify if needed. So when we simplify, we look for any common factors between the numerator and denominator. And here we have one. We can divide 4 and 10 by 2 and break this down to the lowest terms, or simplest form. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we get 2 bits. Now we did not change the value of our answer 4/10. It's still equivalent. 2 bits is equivalent to 4/10. Again, we just simplified and broke that fraction down.
For those of you that got 4/10 and don't understand this part, that is okay. We will cover this later. For those of you that do understand this, you are welcome to simplify fractions whenever you would like to. Let's go ahead and move now on to our next slide, which is slide number 8. All right, we are going to be subtracting today, but first we have to find out what are we subtracting from. So we have a fraction minus 2/6 equals another fraction. Well, since the denominator of this is 6, that must mean I'm looking for a fraction that has a 6 at the bottom of it. But let's see what the fraction was before they took it away. So let's count all the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was 5/6. So let's take a moment and find 5/6. It's right here. Click and drag. And 5/6 take away 2/6 is equal to what? Well, 5 minus 2 equals 3. That's right. All right, let's take a look at our next problem. We have tenths, 4/10. So they took away 4/10, but what did they take away from it? Well, I see most of this is full, and I know this was 10. So 10 take away 1 is 9. So that must mean this is 9. I could also sit here and count these individually, but I know it's 9. So 9 minus 4 equals what? 9 minus 4 equals 5. That's correct. So now I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, almost done. Something minus 3/8 equals what? Well, we need to start by counting how many squares there were in the first place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had 6/8. Be careful. Make sure your denominator is correct. I almost used this one, and that would not be the correct fraction. 6/8 minus 3/8. 6 minus 3 equals 3. And our last problem, we have something minus 1/12. Well, let's count all the red first and see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the fraction problem is 7/12 minus 1/12. I'm going to subtract the numerators. 7 minus 1. 7 minus 1 equals 6. Good job. Let's take a look at the next slide. Take a moment, please. Pause this video and solve the first one. All right, now that you've had a turn, let's work together. 5/5 take away 4/5 equals what? If I had 5/5 and I took away 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, how many do I have left? I have 1 left, that's right, so 1/5. All right, let's take a look at our next one. Please pause this video and solve this problem on your own. Okay, if I have 2/3 and I take away 1 of those, how many do I have left? I have 1 left. 1/3. Very good. This next problem, please pause this video, try it on your own. All right, if I have 7/8 and I take away 1, 2, 3 of them, how many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 minus 3 equals 4. Don't forget, the denominator needs to stay the same. For those of you that remember how to simplify, you could also divide this and this by 4 to get 1/2. Also, you can see that there is half of a fraction left. Almost done. 3/4 minus 1/4 equals what? That's right, 2/4. For those of you that remember how to simplify, I could divide 2 out of both of these, and I would also get the answer of 1/2. That is also a correct answer. Moving on to slide number 10. Please pause this video and work these problems out. Check back when you're done and we will solve them together. Okay, 3 minus 2 equals 1. Remember, we start with the numerator. Then we drag the denominator. Next, 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3 equals 6. And we drag the denominator over. For those of you that remember how to simplify, you can divide both of these by 2, and you also get 2/5. Or 3/5, sorry, 3/5. I apologize. All right, let's move on to the next one. Start by subtracting the numerator. 4 minus 2 equals 2, and I drag the denominator. For those of you that remember how to simplify, I could divide both of these by 2, and I would also get the answer of 1/3. And our last one on this slide, start with the numerator. 5 minus 1 equals, that's right, 4. And I drag the denominator over. If you recognize it, 4 is half of 8, so this is also 1/2. Right, we're on to slide number 11, which is our last example slide. This one, it requires you to fill in the problems. So, first we need to figure out how many are in each fraction. So, let's take a moment and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that means my denominator is going to be 8. I'm going to go ahead and fill it all the way across because I know that 8 is going to be the denominator no matter what. Now, let's count how many are shaded green. All of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we start off with 7. How many are we taking away? Well, the X says we're only taking away 1. 7 minus 1 equals 6. You could also simplify this by dividing by 2. If you divide by 2, that gives you an answer of 3/4. Let's take a look at our next example. How many parts do we have total for our denominator? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know my denominator is going to stay 6 for all of my answers. Now, let's see how many we're subtracting from. Count the blue. 1, 2, 3. So I'm starting with 3. How many am I eliminating or getting rid of? Subtracting. 1, 2. 3 take away 2 equals 1. So my answer is 1/6. Now, these ones are slightly trickier because you have a number line. So we need to count how many parts are on this number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Notice how I didn't start counting with the 0. Start counting right here. So that means my denominator is going to be 12 on all of these. Now, where do we start? Where's the starting point? Is it here or is this the ending point? This is the ending point. This is the starting point. So let's figure out what this is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're starting with 10. How many are we subtracting? All we have to do is count how many are in here. So I'm just going to start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Taking away 6. And 10 take away 6 equals, that's right, 4. For those of you that remember how to simplify, you could divide both of these by 4 and you would get 1/3. Last problem, let's count how many parts we have in our whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 parts altogether, so my denominator is going to be 5. Now, how many did we start with? 1, 2, 3, 4. They started at 4/5. And how many did they subtract? They subtracted 1, 2, 3. And 4 take away 3 equals 1. All right, now it's your turn. Your job is to complete the next 2 slides on your own. Don't forget to submit it when you're done. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. And don't forget to self-assess. Thanks. See you later.